Hey, my name is David Green. I'm the host of the Bigger Pockets Real Estate Podcast. And this video is about Russia's invasion of Ukraine. And stick around all the way to the end because I'm going to give you some specific strategies that I will be using, as well as things that I will be looking for to make good decisions as we see this change. This video is having information that comes largely from an article that I got off of Forbes called "The Russia-Ukraine War Could Have Dire Impacts on Global Supply Chains." It was written by Steve Banker, who's a transportation expert on Forbes. So if you want to know where I'm getting the information from, feel free to check out that article. What I'm going to be doing is giving you my opinion, specifically for those who are investing in real estate and want to know what to expect. One of the biggest things that we can expect is going to be the rising cost of transportation. So we can expect oil and gas to likely continue going up. The article states that oil prices have already jumped to over $105 a barrel, and they've not been that high since 2014. There's also supposedly, according to this article, going to be supply chain issues, and that actually makes sense to me. You should expect to see a rise in what you pay for many goods. A lot of those goods are going to be things builders need. So let's talk about the impact that that could actually have on our real estate market here. Well, the first thing that I would expect to see, new build construction could get very, very expensive. As they become more expensive, people may opt not to buy new homes. So there may be less homes being built. Now, how does that affect us? Well, we already don't have enough inventory. What we really need in order to make housing more affordable is for less homes to be built. If we don't have that, the price of existing homes is just going to keep going up. Now, of existing homes, which of them will go up in price the most? It'll probably be turnkey homes. If you're looking at a house that doesn't need any rehab, you're going to spend a lot more for that house than a property that needs a lot of work. Well, let's break down what makes people buy so you know what signs to look for when making this decision yourself. The first reason people buy real estate is a psychological one. People want to own real estate when they see it going up in value. So as long as real estate continues to appreciate and rents continue to appreciate, more and more people want to own it, which will make demand appreciate. The next thing that people need if you want to buy real estate is debt availability. Now, the majority of the debt comes from Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, government-sponsored enterprises that insure loans made to investors. If the debt dries up, if the government stops offering those loans and people have to come up with more capital to buy, that could significantly slow down how quickly prices are appreciating and how desirable real estate actually becomes. The other would be how much you have to put down. When people have to put down 20%, 30%, 40% on real estate, it becomes less desirable. A third thing that affects home prices is confidence in the economy. And this is where the people who say, if we go to war, home prices are going to go down, make their argument. If we were to go to World War III, it does make sense there would be less people here to buy homes and people would be less interested in buying homes. The demand would go down. That's what happened the last time during World War I and World War II. You didn't see home prices going up a whole lot. So that's something else I'm looking at very closely. When I see a confidence in the economy shift, I would expect prices of homes to either come down, homes to sit longer on the market, or less people to be buying them. If there is a war, but America doesn't get involved, or our involvement doesn't shake the confidence of the average American, I don't think we're going to see a huge shift in real estate. Now, what might happen is these rumors of war cause people to lose confidence, and it might make a window of opportunity for people like me to jump in and buy houses that we would have normally not been able to get. And if that window of opportunity lasts long enough for sellers to start dropping their prices, that's what you should be looking for. Hey, very glad you're here with me, and I hope you like what you're seeing. If you do, please do me a favor, smash the like button, drop a comment down below, and subscribe to this channel so you get notified every time I drop a new one. Okay, so we've covered supply chain issues and how those could affect home prices, and specifically how they might affect which type of assets go up or go down. We've also covered the cost of gas and oil. Now, if that goes up, that hits people directly in their pocketbook. So what I would expect to see if transportation costs and energy costs go up significantly, the cost to heat or cool your house, stuff like that, tenants might not be willing to pay as much for rent as they were when things were going good. I wouldn't expect that to be a permanent issue. I would expect it to be a temporary or a transitory issue. So here's my advice to you as a landlord. If that does happen and you can't get as much for rent, don't sign a 12-month lease. Sign a month-to-month lease at the lower rate. And then when confidence does come back and we do solve that problem, you can push rents back to market rate without being stuck in a deal that you put together for much less than market rent just because of the timing of when you had that vacancy. All right, so in this article, it cites that rising electricity prices can cut into the profits of manufacturers, distributors, and retailers who are reliant on this form of energy for powering their facilities. Energy cost increases, in turn, often lead these companies to raise their prices. This is particularly true in Europe, where Russia is the largest provider of natural gas to Europe, providing about 30% of its supply. Who's going to win in this case? Those that own assets that pay us. We don't have to worry about this as much because we have more money coming in as inflation goes up, so will rents and so will the price of the home. While many people are going to say, don't own assets, what I'm going to say is don't own assets in the wrong areas. This is not the time to go invest in a risky area that might see a lot of growth, some new development in the middle of nowhere. I would not be investing in those type of assets at a time like this. I want the tried and true stuff, the place with strong economies, where there's a lot of people moving to, the place that even if we hit a little bit of a dip, it's going to bounce back very strong. And there's plenty of demand for people that are going to live there. And so here's my advice for you. When life gets kind of scary, the way you win when things change like this, even if they're not changing for the better, is that you become more assertive and you make quicker decisions. You actually have to become more aggressive. When the economy goes down, it creates opportunities in a different space. When everything's going good in one area, there's overlooked assets in other areas where you can still make money. You can't be afraid of change like this. Investors make their money during times of change. So stay confident, keep studying, pay more attention, and come up with a strategy that will work for you, just like what I'm doing. All right, now look, regardless of where you stand on this conflict, what we all can agree is that we should be praying for the people that are involved, that the bloodshed, that the pain, that the devastation will be limited to as much as is possible. While real estate investing is something that we're all interested in, it's not nearly as important as people's lives, which are unfortunately going to be lost in this incident. Now, I don't know everything about it, and things are unfolding as we go. So here's what I want to know. Leave your comment below and tell me what you think, what I might be missing, and what your questions would be regarding what you should do with your money if this thing does continue to grow and play out. I'd love to hear your feedback. I'd love your thoughts. I'd love if you'd subscribe to my channel. I made this one because of all the people that messaged me asking what I think of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Thanks again for watching, and check out one of my other videos.